It is only mid-September, and already the college football season has created some interesting storylines. Hello, and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm your host, Tim Rogers, alongside CheRanda, Hammond, and Zach Gershman, and we are here to bring you some interesting events that have occurred during the third week of the college football season. CheRanda, I'll bring it to you first. Obviously, some crazy action that happened this week. What was your favorite game?
I got to start in the ACC. Two unranked ACC teams, Florida State and Louisville, taking each other on. Florida State traveling to Louisville to play them. Jordan Travis, Florida State starting QB, going down in the first half with only 4 minutes left, forcing their backup Tate Rodemaker to come in. No starting QB, no problem, I guess, because Tate Rodemaker was surely able to help them win 35 to 31.
And I would say, that was definitely impressive. But a bigger storyline more than anything that surprised me or was the game of the week was the App State versus Troy game. It was everything surrounding the game itself. College game day going to Boone, North Carolina, after a big win over Texas A&M in incredible fashion, knocking them out of the top 25 at that point. And then for them to play Troy, be down, come back on a walk-off Hail Mary pass from Chase Bryce to the arms of Christian Horn that was deflected a couple times in order for that melee to happen on the screen for everybody to storm the field. What a storyline. And this Appalachian State team, we all know the story of them beating Michigan. Now it's beating Texas A&M. It's moments like this that make this team a special team.
The college game day was absolutely incredible. The energy there, the fans there, Luke Combs as the guest picker, if you will. But what an incredible turnout by the fans, and what an incredible atmosphere. Truly one of the greatest college game days. But besides some incredible games, there were some pretty interesting upsets. So, Zach, I'll bring it to you first this time. Which one really caught you by surprise?
I don't necessarily want to call it an upset, but the biggest surprise was Washington versus Michigan State. Michael Penix played with the Michigan State team, 4 touchdowns, almost 400 yards for the Indiana transfer to Washington to go to Washington. An incredible performance and knocked Mel Tucker's squad out of the top 25, and that's big implications for the Big Ten East.
Yeah, definitely that was a good one, but I got to stay close to home. I got to pick my upset would definitely be Penn State versus Auburn. Last season, Auburn traveling up here to Penn State and losing 28-20 was a very close game back and forth. I expected the same for this year, but as we all know, that was not the case, as Sean Clifford played a really good game and Nick Singleton being a big part of the 41-12 win for Penn State with 124 rushing yards. So definitely got to stick to that one.
I think you guys both hit really good points that they weren't really necessarily upsets, but the fashion that it happened in was truly impressive. Nobody, including everybody, thought that Penn State going into Auburn, a new SEC environment, nothing they haven't done in a long, long time, would dominate the way they did, and they truly did. And, look, Penn State fans know pretty well how Michael Penix likes to get things done late in the game, but it was nice to see.
He did it early, though, Tim.
Well, that is true. But
3 touchdown lead before halftime even. It was very impressive.
But that's him. When he is able to be healthy, which is something he has not been for the past few seasons. He hasn't played a full season in a long time. I truly hope he can stay healthy. Now, although Penix might be getting some praises, I don't think he's going to be on the Heisman watch right now. So, CheRanda, who's your pick for the Heisman?
I had to go with C.J. Stroud. He's been doing pretty impressive. I think when I was looking at his stats, he didn't have any interceptions yet this season, which is pretty big to me, and scoring 5 touchdowns alone this weekend. I think that's a pretty good. He's definitely going to be in the running, top 5.
How are people sleeping on Bryce Young, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner? Yes, they did have a close game against Texas, and that dropped them down from number 1 to number 2. Ooh, he threw 2 interceptions versus Louisiana Monroe. Ooh. They haven't played anybody yet, but he's still putting up impressive numbers. No need to stress about the 2 interceptions, if anything. He might only have 2 more all year because he's the type of player that learns from his mistakes. He still went 13 for 18 in that contest against Louisiana Monroe. And as the weeks continue to go on, he's going to continue getting better. And you cannot sleep on the reigning Heisman Trophy winner.
I think these 2 are top 2. No question about it. But you guys know me. I like to have fun. I like to throw a little spice in there time to time. So why is Stetson Bennett not getting talked about a little bit? This is now 5 straight games where he hasn't thrown an interception. He's added 10 passing touchdowns and added 3 rushing touchdowns as well. Georgia absolutely dominating Oregon and dominating all their opponents. You saw last week, too, Stetson Bennett thrown up on the sideline. Doesn't matter, comes in, balls out like he does. But Nonetheless, I think the matchup for the Heisman is truly between these two, and it's going to be a fun race to see. That's all the time that we have for this edition of Penn State Sports Night. However, with the college football season ramping up with steam, we are sure to give you loads of college football content in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, and for Zach Gershman and CheRanda Hammond, I'm Tim Rogers, and have a great rest of your day.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night. We hope you liked that segment.
And we're sure there's other Penn State Sports Night segments that you are going to love as well. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content.
And check us out on social media for updates and behind-the-scenes clips and pics. Follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.